done.
Did you get that? All right, well, welcome. Nobody ever sits in the front here. You all Baptists? Something like that? Sit in the back? I saw that. Just giving you a hard time. I know. You don't want me to spit on you. All right. Let's go ahead and pray. Thank you, Lord, for this day and the opportunity to come together and plan and seek to use the different resources and abilities and talents that you've given us to benefit the group, the whole, and the body of Christ. Thank you for these young people and their love for you, and pray you bless them, bless our time here. In Jesus' name, amen. All right, so welcome to first, well actually technically we had student council at the conference a couple weeks ago, but first workshop student council. President Schott is not able to be here today, but I believe she has a message that Jeremiah is going to read, and we'll get to that in just a minute. Just a couple reminders from our end, events that were coming up. If you still want to do the ski day, that's still coming up next week, so that's on Thursday. You can sign up for that. We also have the field trip on Saturday, February 17th, down to Frederick Douglass's house. So just a little to whet your appetite. I think what we'll probably do is some of the things that we will talk about and see down there will be a little bit a part of what we'll talk about at the student council, or I'm sorry, the student forum, or at least a bit of a springboard. Student forum is coming up in March. And again, that's an opportunity to basically dialogue as the next generation of leaders about the issues that are going on in our day, have a conversation and discussion about them, to brainstorm, have ideas, how can we approach these sorts of topics from a biblical worldview, from a worldview that can be winsome, can be persuasive, and basically be ambassadors for the truth in the world that you live in. Because it doesn't matter where you end up being, even if it's in your own home, you will be ambassadors of truth to your own family, in your workplace, and so on and so forth. So that's going to be coming up. And then Jeremiah is going to talk about the fundraiser coming up, I think in either maybe March or April, which he's going to tell you about that. So that's coming up, and that will be primarily, you're raising funds generally for the student council, but the priority is again for graduation and class trip. So participation is very much encouraged. So, all right, Vice President Cox.
Thank you. All right, so good afternoon, everyone. So today we have to discuss the official date for the car wash. So we're going to vote on two dates. So I picked two dates to vote on, and so the first date is April 7th, and the second date is April 14th. So we had originally thought about doing it on March 31st, but we decided since that's Easter weekend, it wouldn't be very feasible to do it on that day. So we're just going to quickly vote. So who's in favor of doing it on, well actually, start with this. I sent out the email, and you guys are supposed to talk to your parents and decide which date was best for you. So who actually did that and talked to their parents? So only one person did. Okay. So
All right.
all right. So now you're just gonna have to either not vote, or which isn't really a very good option, or you're going to need to just guess what date's going to be best for your family. So we're hoping to have all of you present at the car wash, so just vote on the date which is most convenient for you. So do any of you even know which date? Like,
Well,
it's kind of far out. You know?
What dates are those again? They're both Saturdays, correct?
Yeah, they're both Saturdays. It's April 7th and April 14th. They're both Saturdays. And I know it's kind of hard to plan your schedule this far in advance, but you could at least put that our final date on your calendar and plan on that since it's so far out. So who's in favor of April 7th for the car wash? Okay, we've got 2, 3. All right. So no, everyone else doesn't really know. Or you don't care?
Do you know if he has something going on that weekend?
All right, who's in favor?
April 7th.
April 7th, okay. So we got 4. Who's in favor of April 14th? Got 1. All right. So, anyone else? Going once? Going twice? All right, it's April 7th. So, we got the most votes for that. So,
April 7th's got a nice ring to it.
yeah. So, we're just gonna have to figure out if we're gonna bring our own tools like hoses. I still have to call them and ask them that question. So, we'll figure that out pretty soon. And it's gonna be at the Roy Rogers off of Route 26. It's near Walkersville. It's on the east side of Frederick. So you can Google it. It's off of Route 26. So so April 7th is the date for the car wash.
Why don't you go ahead and, since you've got live bodies here, chat a little bit about how this might work.
Okay. All right. So for the car wash, we're probably going to arrive. So I called them up and they said we could probably just like decide what time of day to start is going to be most efficient for us. So like what time of day do we think is going to be like most busy? It's going to have the most business because we don't want to get there at like 4 o'clock in the morning when there's no one around. You know what I mean? So we probably want to we're going to want to figure out. But
You might get all the employees.
we're just going to want to figure out what time of the day is going to be most efficient and we're going to get the most business. So, and then we also got to figure out what time we're going to end and so forth.
Okay, well,
So-
you want to have some discussion about that now?
Yeah. So
Get
they
some
would
input.
have
You
any
got some
ideas.
You got some ideas. You know when you're doing it now. So
Yes.
so let me just throw out things that are part of it. First, you need to know how much you're going to charge
Right.
per
Yeah.
car. You need to think about how detailed a wash are you going to do. You're going to do a basic wash. You're going to offer a wax job. Are you offering a vacuuming of the inside? You know, all those different things people want to know when they are getting their car washed. What exactly does that mean? And what you're prepared to do.
Right. Okay. So does anyone have any ideas of what price we should charge? What kind of things we should offer? Like detailed cleaning, you know, the outside, just like soap and water, or should we just do like really basic rinse down? Or should we have like several options available for people to pick from? Just have different prices. So we're just gonna have to figure out those things. So does anyone have any ideas? This is a discussion. You guys are all encouraged to have your input.
I would say options is a good idea.
Options. Okay. So what kind of options do you think?
Like options on whether they want like a. I think well, different kinds of wash. I think that's probably a good idea, but also and then pricing for different sizes of cars because I mean somebody brings in a school bus. I mean, we're gonna charge the same for them for a little car.
Yeah. So that's a really good point. We probably should have different prices, a set price for the different kinds of cars. So, can you write this down, Chastity? Since you're our secretary,
Yeah.
you can write
And
down.
actually, Jeremiah, will you open up the marker board there and
Thank you.
Chastity doesn't have to remember everything you said.
All right. So, should I write down?
Well, you guys start naming car sizes.
Okay, so let's do the basic car, like 4 doors.
Just like a 4-door sedan,
The
or you might call it just regular
Car.
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 I'd say there's,
Alright.
Yeah,
like,
passenger car.
I'd say there's like cars, SUVs, and then trucks in it.
Yeah, I got
Cars, SUVs, I'd also say you've got your big vans and your minivans.
it. Yeah.
Wouldn't those count as SUVs? I guess they wouldn't really count as.
Well, that's up to you.
Well, I would
Yeah.
say like a 15-passenger van or something that size would probably be under kind of like trucks, and then something like a minivan would probably be under like an SUV.
I'm gonna take a picture of that.
All right. So for cars, does anyone have any idea what a regular car wash would charge?
I'm actually just looking at it.
Okay, thank you.
I don't have it yet, but
Yeah,
$300.
Really?
No, not really.
All right, so we've got cars, SUVs, trucks, and large vans. And anything else?
Semis.
Semis.
No, I didn't.
How about buses? Maybe. What do you call buses anyway? Just one is. So do you have anything? I think there's a car wash that's like right next to Roy Rogers. Saw it. It's like. So we're gonna be having some competitions. We probably should.
Big signs.
There is car wash?
It's
Yeah.
like right next to it, like literally. So.
Oh, why did you pick that one?
Well, they offer, you know,
Yeah.
they're available for fundraisers like this. So. I imagine it's like $5 or something. What do you think?
Oh, way more than that.
I hope so. Nice. Already. I think those are probably the only types we're gonna encounter.
Just remember that most people go through car washes because they don't like having to wash their own car. So in other words, what I'm saying is the demographic is probably people who are willing to pay a little bit extra for the convenience.
Right.
So, in other words, I'd say that if you charge at least
15?
Wow.
It's a little.
Do you know how much your brother's?
They did a car wash up here at the church a couple years ago.
Really?
Yeah, they did that. I think that was my name. Joshua was a student. And
Oh yeah.
I don't remember the prices, but I think it must have been.
Actually, whoever has the Jeremiah, you still have the junior class
Yeah, I do have
folder,
that.
and I think Sarah might still have the senior class. So that information
Yep.
still you might check that. I mean,
Yeah, I should have checked that.
It's gonna be a little old,
Yeah.
but I'd say probably at the very minimum $8 would be good for a small car and work up
Right.
there, and you might even move it up from that. So maybe even 10.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'm finding a lot of.
but we also need to think about there's competition, so it's
Go
not
ahead
going
and
to
quit, Jazzy.
I'm finding a lot between $8 and $15.
be $15. Okay.
Between
Do you have the price for the car wash that's right next to it? Because
What
we
is it
probably
called?
should look at that because that's going to be the convenience isn't going to be really because they've got the car wash right next door and it's going to be faster probably than us because it's an automatic car wash. So they've got that competition there. So we need to be able to compete and have a lower price.
Do you know what it's called? Is it Shell?
I don't know. It's
Yeah, it could be. Shell often has car washes.
Yeah. I don't think it's a gas station there. It's just a plain car wash. I think it's got 2 or 3 spots. What are they called? Bays.
The other thing you might think about too is thinking about how much time you think it will take to wash a car, or how many of you can wash a car simultaneously,
Yeah.
so that you actually can kind of get a feel for how much you might shoot to make for the whole day. And that might also factor into your price. Obviously, if you charge too cheaply, it's not going to be worth your time.
Yeah. I think we should be able to wash a car in less than 10 minutes. I think that should be a good time, although that is probably longer than it takes for the automatic car wash to wash a car, but
I was
we
finding.
could probably do a better job, possibly.
Yeah, this one person said we split up four groups of 4 and have split up 2 and a half of the car and just work with each other.
So have 4 on one side, 4 on the other, kind of thing.
2 on.
Oh, 2 on each side. I think we could probably use. I think we could probably use at least 4 on each side because that would make it go really fast, and the cars aren't that
Do we have enough people?
small. I mean,
We need lots more.
well, yeah, that's another thing we have to figure out. Got to figure out who's able to commit to doing the car wash, and decide from there how long it's going to take because. So does anyone know if they're able to make it to the day, or I think it's April 7th is when we decided to write this down.
All this money, it, will first go to the senior class. So,
Alright.
I forget if we have people here from the senior class, but if there's any seniors here, they should probably go. So,
Yeah, so the car wash is going to be raising money for senior class, and if the senior class doesn't use the money, then it's going to be given over to the junior class.
yeah.
But we are doing a joint class trip to probably the Wild. We have to still decide on that. And it's going to be open to seniors, juniors, and I think anyone in the student council, I believe, pretty sure. So we're just going to, all be using the money. So everyone should be able to help out with this car wash. So because it's going to be used by everyone. So does anyone want to go tell them to be quiet? Please?
I could.
Thank you.
I'm having a hard time finding prices for car washing.
Okay, so let's say for a car we're gonna charge around $8. And for an SUV, you could probably charge around $10. Do you guys agree with that? It's a good price.
I actually am finding on this third car wash project, they're charging $25 for a car.
Ooh.
And I'm pretty sure this is Tottenham or those things you drive.
Okay. Yeah, I think it probably would be. So say to be probably a little bit, possibly have a little bit of competition there, we probably should be more like at least 15. And then for an SUV, we could probably charge around 20.
Maybe like 17 or 18 for this
Okay.
SUV, and then the cost would be 20.
Okay. We could just do 20 for SUVs, trucks are 25. Do you have any prices for trucks or anything there?
No, well, I couldn't find actual prices, but
Oh.
this one person's like paying $30. So, and that was just for one car.
Okay.
So. Does anybody have fast internet on here?
Well, it might be something you want to research,
Yeah.
because you do have a little bit of time, but.
Right.
So what prices will be included? Like, are they charging for water? I mean, I don't know if that's.
I still have to check on that. Actually, that's a good thing. Can you write that down?
Yeah.
So I can ask about that. And then say buses, we can do like 40. And then we're gonna. Does anyone not agree with these prices? Does anyone think a better price would be better? I guess no one sees. All right. So I'm gonna.
Just as a suggestion, you always have the ability, if it's been an hour and nobody is taking you up on your price, then maybe you can make it a decision to drop it.
Yeah, it's a good idea.
But one other thing just to remember, I have noticed, at least I will admit I've never actually taken my car to a fundraiser event. However, like I said, because you are with people who are wanting the convenience, and then I think if you are enthusiastic, I think people generally they'll be interested in doing something like that.
Yeah, I agree.
So, which is another thing you might talk about is advertising.
Yeah. So yeah, we're gonna need to talk about like signs. We're probably gonna want to put some signs up around the area because it's kind of a little bit back away from the road, and you gotta kind of like drive back, and then you gotta turn, and then you gotta go back down the road a little ways. So it's not really too visible from the larger main road. So we're gonna have to figure out like where we're gonna put signs, put it out on the median, out on the side of the road maybe, and we could just put some up next to it. have prices around on the signs maybe.
We could even have people standing out on the side.
Yeah, we could have some sign waivers. Have some people jumping around,
Yeah.
cow suits on. Just kidding.
Oh my gosh. We could do a mascot for Washington.
And how about like cowboy suits, you know, since it's at Board
We're running.
I don't know.
Lasso him in.
Yeah, so, yeah, so we're gonna have to do some more research on that. I'll do some more research on that, figure that out. More prices and that kind of thing. Does anyone have any more ideas about this? Alright, so no one has any more input?
How about time? When you want to start? When you want to end?
Well, I was thinking probably around 7:30 or 8 be a good time to start, and then end time probably around 6 or 7 maybe. And if we don't get anyone all afternoon, we might end early, you know what I mean? So,
What I was thinking was it gets really busy around 11. Restaurants tend to, 10 or 11 for lunch. Actually 11 for lunch. And if we're gonna, I can't imagine people would want to be out early on a Saturday. So,
Yeah,
for
that's true.
breakfast. But maybe we should, I don't know, maybe, I
okay,
mean, I have no experience.
yeah. That's a good
You might
point.
also talk about the idea with, well, I mean, you can see if you can somehow say, eat at Roy Rogers and get your car washed while you eat.
Ah, yeah. Do something like that.
Just gotta be careful to make sure they don't think they're getting their car washed in with their meal.
Yeah. Yeah.
But you might get people stopping who are stopping to eat their lunch anyways, because they're.
Maybe say something like, while you eat, get your car washed.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. So I think those are all really good ideas. So we'll. I mean, we've got a good bit of time before the actual car wash. We've got some time to plan. So.
So just looking at those prices, so say you get 15 cars, or 10 cars at $15, that's
150.
150. Isn't too bad.
Yeah. Not too bad. I think that would be pretty good. You know. Pretty good amount of income. I'm not aware of any fees that they're going to charge. They might charge for, you know, the water, so I have to figure that out. Then I call them. Alright, so we're going to move on to the next thing on the agenda. Does anyone have any more questions or comments about the car wash?
One other thought, you might, you can always try, the worst that can happen is someone says no, but you could ask one of the local restaurants around, I mean, you could ask Roy Rogers even if they'd be willing to donate lunch to the Waterbury Student Council.
Right.
Chick-fil-A is not far from there either, so they could,
Yeah.
they might potentially be willing to do that,
Uh-huh. Right.
but Roy Rogers might be even willing to do that. And I've seen in that previous classes have made those kind of requests.
Uh-huh. Okay.
Not always with success, but
Yeah. Right. Okay. Cool. All right. That sounds like a good idea.
so that you would be able to eat right away and not have to take much time to eat and
Yeah.
wash them.
Yep. So I'm imagining we're gonna probably need at least like 6 people for the car wash to make it happen.
At minimum.
What?
At minimum.
Yeah, minimum probably 6. Because we're gonna need people. I mean, we might have more than one car to wash at one time. You know what I mean? So if we have few cars to wash, then we could just have everyone working on one car, get it done really fast. If we have like 3 cars at one time, we're gonna need to split up everyone. So that's gonna leave like 2 people per car if we have 6 people. So.
Hey Gary,
Then we have add like the sign painters.
Somebody called me.
I did.
I heard, even though I'm deaf.
I'm not sure historically what the situation has been. As far as fundraisers are concerned, do they need to have a parent sponsor or does a Walkerville staff person need to be there?
Yes.
Both those are true?
Well, either or.
Okay, well that's what I already started.
So the the parent sponsor, as long as they're aware. And all of these activities, just so you understand, there's a legal threshold which we're concerned about maintaining. So when it's an official school-sponsored thing, then we have to have certain things in place for safety and decorum, such as a waiver, and then such as an authorized adult present that can be entrusted with the responsibility so that the young people, you all, can be considered to be, being taken care of in a proper fashion, being watched over adequately. So your parents qualify, but we've had issues in the past where, students on an unofficial basis wanted to do something like an activity, river float or something, and those aren't forbidden. I mean, I don't have any way to forbid you your spare time. But if it's an official class event, then it has to use certain protocols, waivers, and proper supervision.
Okay.
Thanks.
Thank
There
you.
you go. So you need to have either a staff person there or a parent.
Yeah, so your parents are very welcome to come and be there and babysit us. So, all right. So we're gonna move on. Does anyone else have any more comments, questions? All right. So the next thing on the list is how many people will be available to help at graduation. We're talking to seniors here. Actually, this is about juniors and seniors, because the juniors are probably going to be the ones that are going to be helping at graduation. So we got to figure that out.
Yeah, juniors, you're responsible for rehearsal dinner.
Yep.
So that's still in place.
How many juniors do we have here? Got it. Okay, so three, including
Three
myself.
of you, and you actually have a pretty big class.
Yeah.
Like 14.
Yeah.
So.
Got 15. All right, so I'm gonna need to send out an email, and we'll talk about. I'll find out how many juniors could be there to do the rehearsal and reception afterwards, right? Or okay. So all right, so Sarah, President Schott had a question for Mr. Fisher about who would be going on the class trip, juniors and seniors. Is it just juniors and seniors, or is it all the student council?
That is up for discussion.
Okay.
Part of that probably depends on whether or not, well, first of all, how much money you have to go and where you're going. So right now, the senior class trip is still slated for the Wilds.
Right.
And I have not heard any input from anyone that is not what people want to do. So if that doesn't want, how can I say this? If you don't want to go to the Wild and you're a senior, you probably need to voice that sooner than later.
Yeah.
Now, I guess the next question probably for the senior class is going to be how many seniors are even able or interested in going on any class trip at all. So I'm gonna take the liberty of saying if you are planning on going on a class trip, which is usually in May, you need to let Sarah know that this coming week.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
And if you're listening to the live stream, let us know that. And if there is not very many seniors that are actually going to be going, then I'd say let's open it up to juniors. Historically speaking, when the numbers have not been very big, juniors have tagged along with the understanding that that might be their class trip. So it may not necessarily be what they do the next year, but you could. I mean, it depends on, obviously juniors this year will be seniors next year, and they'll have the opportunity to see if they can raise funds for that. But so I say, at this point in time, that's probably where you need to start, is to see what the participation level is.
All right. So if you are a senior and you want to go on a class trip, then contact President Schott and let her know that you're interested in going. So we only got one senior here. So
And other seniors listening?
Yep. So if you're watching live stream, let President Schott know if you're going on the class trip. All right. And the other question was, we've got to find parents who are interested in going as a chaperone. So if your parent is interested in going as a chaperone, then they're going to need to contact either President Schott or Mr. Fisher very soon and let us know that you're willing to do that. So.
And we generally need one dad and one mom.
Right.
One for gals and one for guys.
Yep. Okay. All right. So, does anyone have any more questions or comments about that? All right. So this right here is from it's from President Schott, and it's just what she was gonna present. What she was gonna talk about if she came. So. So she said, I would like to input from seniors on graduation. I would like input from seniors on graduation ideas for June. One thing I want us seniors to think about is whom we would want to be our speaker, and also the possibility of having the reception outside. You all can either contact me personally, or communicate with Mr. Fisher. So if you have any ideas or any concerns about that, you need to contact President Schott or Mr. Fisher if you want to have the reception outside. So she's.
Just as a reminder, graduation is here this year.
Yes, that's correct. So we're having graduation here at the church, and we're not going to have to pay anything. We'll probably donate something if we have extra funds, but that's still to be discussed. So she says, I think personally it would be neat to do something unusual for the graduation ceremony, such as each of us taking a letter of a name of God that pertains to a graduation like Alpha and Omega, symbolizing the beginning of education and ending with graduation. So that's one of her ideas. We could actually hold physical wooden letters and somehow place them on something. And I guess have them be visible to everyone, so everyone can see. So that's just an idea she has that can be just something neat to do at graduation. So, or another idea is that you could build something together, and that could be like neat and different than what they've done in the past. So, and she says, sometimes silence is more dramatic than words. So that's the idea behind that. All right, does anyone have any questions or comments about that? All right, we're going to the next thing. So then she says, we could even have the seniors serve at graduation because of all the efforts parents and instructors have put into us. So she just says that we should since your parents and instructors have done so much for you, you probably should be willing to give back to them and serve at graduation. So that's just one of her ideas to do at graduation. And another idea could be to somehow, especially, recognize these influential adults. To all the seniors, I would love to hear your ideas and inputs for graduation. So that was what Sarah was going to present if she was here. So, does anyone have any questions or comments about that? No one does.
So yeah, if you're a senior, like Josiah here, or if you're listening or watching this later, yeah, make sure you follow up with Sarah about those ideas.
Yes. All right. So, Chastity, you're going to encourage people to submit photos for your book. Oh, you're going to do that right now? Okay.
Well, am I?
Yes. You can talk about that right now.
I got a quick question.
Yes, what's your question?
Does everybody have the contact information for the officers? Because I know you keep mentioning that people contact them, but I don't know. Is everybody that's watching, do they have contact information? Because I don't know if they've had a way to get it.
Sarah has been, Josiah, have you been getting emails from Sarah?
No.
Okay?
Do you have an email?
Probably, do you have an email address? Alright, so can you go ahead and give me your email address before you leave today?
Okay.
So that I can get that to Sarah, because I know she's made the effort to try to get emails to people. So, if you're a senior listening and you know you haven't been getting emails from Sarah, then you need to give us your email so we can connect her to you.
Yes. All right. So
Otherwise, I'll just say, if you don't know who to contact us here
Yes.
at the office. So, info@wcfs.edu.
I'll
All right.
send out everybody's officers' email addresses.
okay, great. All right, so Chastity, you're up. Thank you.
Okay, so this is mainly the seniors. So I guess you and anybody else listening. For the yearbook, I am in the yearbook club, so I'm serving as a representative. But we need, if you want a page in the yearbook, you have to provide a senior portrait or a senior picture, graduation testimony. It can't be too long, but just gist of it, and Mr. Doak.
And the parameters for that were in the senior letter,
Yeah.
went out. So, which was in the family mailing in December. So if you need the senior letter, I'll make sure I'll get that to you again, if you need it.
Did you get that?
I wouldn't be able to remember if I.
Yeah.
I'll
Yeah,
email it
so-
to you, decide, if you give me your email, I'll give it to you.
Yeah, and we also need a parent memento. I'm pretty sure we're doing that this year. We do every year. So, normally seniors are supposed to drop it on the senior pages themselves. So I think I have touched base with Mrs. Donna on that, but she will be sending out some kind of info on how to get on the senior page on the yearbook website and information to log in and do that. So yeah, basically just those. And then one thing I want to just put out for fundraisers. But does anybody have questions about the senior page? You, I guess you're on the spire. Yes. So, okay, fundraisers. I'm freshman, so I'm not going to be doing a lot of fundraisers. I'm not going to be initiating a lot. But I just wanted to point out that we could be doing some sort of bake sale over during workshop and any other events. I know we already did the New Teachers Conference sub sale, and maybe not something so big as that, but just cookies or something. I think that would be good to do. So yeah, I think that's all I have. Is there anything?
I have one other
Yeah.
thing to add to that, which tailors into what you said. You guys, we always have a food booth at Expo. And that is the end of April, it's the 27th, 28th. So that's another fundraiser that's coming up, and that's another, we need help from student council to make that happen, so that's a need. We might have some other folks help with it, but that's where that could happen. So you could definitely do a bake sale as part of the food booth at Expo.
Okay. So yeah, that's. Did you have more? Because I'm trying.
I don't think I have anything else to talk about. That's all there was on the agenda. I guess we probably should talk about the yearbook bake sale maybe, or do you want to talk about that later?
Do you have details?
Do anyone have any
I haven't.
comments about that? Any input? All right. So I think that's everything we have. Do you have anything more? Okay. All right. Well, thank you very much. And
If you want to close this.
We have-
Jeremiah.
okay, we have the ski day and the forum day. They're going to be coming up. So the forum day. Do we have a date for that?
Yes, it's.
Oh, that's the field trip. Right? No, that's not.
No, the field trip is February 17th. The forum day, I believe, is March.
Okay.
What did you say?
March 16th.
Thank you. Yes, I knew it was around St. Patrick's Day.
Okay, so,
That's Friday.
all right. So, does anyone else have any more questions, comments? All right.
Maybe we should, I don't know if you want to volunteer to just bring cookies for next workshop, just to put out. But
All right. Does anyone want to volunteer to bring some cookies
To sell.
To
Have
sell.
available.
So, yeah. Are there any parameters around that?
As long as the goods have been baked,
Okay.
not doing any food preparation actually there, no, that's fine.
Okay.
Okay.
So just
So,
like simple cookies.
Does anyone want to volunteer to bring cookies to sell?
No brownies.
All right. Sherry's volunteering.
I guess
Marissa's
just
volunteering.
us then.
All right. So sounds good. We're gonna have a little big sale at workshop next time. So you got one in February, right?
Yep.
Okay. We've got 2 more workshops. So I believe that's all I have to talk about. Does anyone else have any more questions? All right. Thank you very much. That's all I have.
All right, you're dismissed.